Good day and welcome to June 1st, 2012. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, and this is GardenStateWeather.com, the Northern Mid-Atlantic region's weather portal, and this is the in-depth forecast analysis video discussion for Friday and the weekend, the first weekend of June 2012. Generally clear skies and very light winds over the forecast area before sunrise has northern counties and including portions of Scranton and parts of Sussex County and into the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania. Temperatures are in the mid and upper 50s with clear skies, but everybody else is at 60 or above in the city, northeastern New Jersey down through central and southern New Jersey. And we have some watches and warnings here. By the way, these clear skies are going to fill in. There's high cloudiness all the way out through central Pennsylvania and a wall of rain just to the west of that. And that's going to be coming in for late tonight and tomorrow. So skies are going to cloud up during this afternoon. Just a few hours of sunshine, high clouds moving into the area this morning, and skies will become overcast during later this afternoon. And the winds are already turning around to the east with an onshore flow as high pressure is offshore. And we do have a couple of advisories here. Now, we do have abnormally astronomical high tides, and that will mostly be in effect for later tonight's high tide cycle between 5:30 and 6:30 this evening along the south-facing shore beaches of Long Island and Connecticut and the eastern shore-facing beaches of New Jersey from Monmouth down to Cape May counties and also into the Delaware Bay area and the Chesapeake area as well. Now, basically, we're going to have a high tide cycle that's going to be a few feet above normal as a result of these high tides. So a small craft advisory is in effect too for these areas as a result of that, and also because of the strong winds which will be increasing and veering during the afternoon and evening hours as a cold front moves towards the area and rain showers move into the area overnight tonight. Where we have the green boxes, we have coastal flood advisories, and this for some water getting over the tops into the roadways as a result of the high tide cycle, again being higher than normal, especially between 5:30 and 6:30 this evening. In these areas, we'd expect some minor coastal flooding from the onshore winds and the tide cycle late tonight and tomorrow morning. Late tonight, and again, some of these advisories may be put back into effect early next week. If you are going to the beach today, remember moderate rip currents, and the seas will be about 2 to 4 feet on the open waters here. The UV index, ultraviolet index, is going to be very high today despite the incoming cloud cover during this afternoon. So it can burn very easily on the skin exposed beyond 15 or 30 minutes. And the water temperatures are generally in the 60s. A lot of rain coming in late tonight and tomorrow morning. We'll get into that in just a moment. Sunrise at Belmar Beach live webcam from the surfersview.com website. Here's a span of the cam at the ocean front in Belmar. And the sun is coming up on the horizon. Nobody's on the beach right now. I guess the people with the Geigers looking for the money will come up in a little while. Look at this beautiful picture as the sun is coming up over the water here in Belmar this morning. Beautiful light wave, lot choppy waves, and this is a concern for rip currents this afternoon, and especially around the time of high tide cycle tonight. Water temperatures here are in the 60s in the surf zone, so it's quite chilly. And the sunshine is predominant this morning, but that's going to fill in with clouds and an onshore flow. We can see that already developing with the wave heights about a foot or so per second. So it's going to be a little choppy on the waters today, but moderate risk of rip currents and a cool day on the water, but a nice day on the beach if you're out there early this morning. Eastern U.S. infrared satellite loop this morning. Plenty of clear skies here across New Jersey, New York City metro areas. Clouds already increasing. This is an upper low and surface low and cold front with some strong convection down in the southern areas of Louisiana and also in Alabama and Mississippi. This low pressure area is developing and moving towards the Great Lakes. It will move into Lake Erie and Ontario over the next 24 hours and then gradually cut off and begin to spin very slowly and trundle its way towards and off the northern Atlantic coastal waters during early next week. Now, there is some there will be a south-southwest flow which will be increasing ahead of this front, and there's a plume of moisture being brought up from this, and this is very, very much evident on the satellite view this morning. And if we went into the water vapor imagery for the same time, you can see this plume of moisture here. Here's our upper low getting ready to cut off, and not cut off, but develop and move towards the Great Lakes area. There's a plume of moisture right here along the southern end with thunderstorms developing across Louisiana. And this moisture plume is going to help precipitable water values increase this afternoon and tonight. So the rainfall coming in overnight in convective showers could be anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to an inch, and some areas could see locally higher amounts and heavy downpours and any kind of elevated thunder and lightning that occurs. Here's our NamWRF composite: clear skies, increasing high clouds this morning, even on the model. And as we go through time, this is from Penn State EWOL site, we see the clouds increasing, the onshore flow developing. Notice these clouds during tonight over the forecast region offshore, and these are lower clouds being brought in. A few showers now developing across very light areas of northeastern and central southeastern Pennsylvania. As we go through time, we have a strong south to southwesterly jet at about 30, 40, 50 knots, and this inflow is going to mean that the flow is parallel, and these showers will run from south to north ahead and parallel to the cold front as it makes its way across the forecast area tomorrow morning. Now, the front should clear, but the moderate to heavy localized rainfall amounts in this could be anywhere from 3/4 to an inch as the showers and possibly low-topped elevated thunderstorms move across the region overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. And then the skies gradually break. The NamWRF model keeps more clouds in. The GFS gives a little bit more break of the cloud cover, but definitely we're going to see a break in the clouds to become broken to partly cloudy with sunshine increasing during the afternoon, but the winds are going to be pretty moderately strong tomorrow from the west, about 10, 15, 20 miles an hour. Temperatures tomorrow getting back up into the 70s. They'll probably reach the upper 70s to around 80 today, except along the immediate coast where they could get there soon, but probably not remain there very long, as the strong east wind and also the cloud cover will probably limit that a little bit cooler today than it was yesterday. But either way, tomorrow is going to get better, but there will be some disturbances. Notice this upper low here as it cuts off and trundles its way across the Great Lakes and into northern New England, and it probably won't even reach the eastern shores of the New England coast until sometime Monday. So we're expecting under this cyclonic flow, clouds to increase, especially across the north. There might not be very much cloud cover from central coastal and southern New Jersey into Delmarva tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night, but northern sections could be clipped by a light shower or even a possible thunder shower as the air mass becomes moderately unstable during the afternoon and evening hours on Sunday as another impulse moves through. And this is going to be a problem going into next week, because this low is going to basically sit up here, being blocked off from the upper level flow across the northern Atlantic, and spokes of vorticity wrapping around it means that certain areas, especially northern sections closer to the proximity of the low, will face some short waves moving through the northwest flow and the chance for a shower or a thunder shower, but they'll be widely scattered and mostly diurnally driven, meaning during the daytime hours, and should be a little flatter with partly cloudy to clear weather generally at night. Temperatures next week too are going to be generally in the 70s. And again, last night's run of the European model from the Penn State EWOL site shows the low cutting off across the Great Lakes during this afternoon and tonight. And as we move through the next 48 hours, the low pretty much is in Ontario and southeastern Canada, and the low becomes a little bit elongated with strong height falls across the Atlantic and ridging building in on the northwestern flank, or the downwestern flank of this upper low across the Great Lakes. So the upper low is really going to be a problem in the forecast, because basically it's going to remain in a nearly stationary position, kind of retrograde a little bit and hang around the northern Atlantic due to blocking over the top. And that's going to mean a northwesterly flow, and there could be some disturbances that rotate around this, but generally a partly cloudy sky, and in some cases clear depending on where you are. There could be a shot of a shower or even a low-top thunderstorm during any afternoon from about Sunday through Thursday. There's no really definitive peak signals here for any sustainable rain showers over a large portion of the area, but any of those rain showers could be locally heavy in brief, discrete locations as they make their way across, mainly during the afternoon hours from Sunday through Thursday of next week. And the ridge axis will remain over to the west. If we get into the day on Thursday, we still see the upper low across Atlantic Canada, and basically a continuation of a northwest flow. Although the upper low is weakening a little bit, generally leading into a nice weekend. Later next week, things should flatten out a little bit, and more of a ridge should begin to build across the Great Lakes, and then that ridge will now extend into the eastern seaboard states by next weekend. Now, the thing that was interesting is yesterday, the European model had a closed low in the southern United States, and now that low does not appear to be it's not even closed. It's an upper trough now. It's not closed, and ridging now is occurring across the Great Lake, across the northeast, and then off the eastern seaboard with a return of southwesterly flow. So that means that the weather is going to definitely improve now, according to the model, for later next week, and going into the next weekend, we could really see some nice summertime weather here as high pressure is in control, along with a south to southwesterly flow, and temperatures rebounding from the 70s back into the 80s by next weekend if this model solution begins to form itself into a correct mode. So that'll about do it for today and for the weekend. For GardenStateWeather.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Mindful today of the rip currents if you're going to the beaches. Some heavy rain, 3/4 to an inch. Small craft advisories in effect for late tonight and tomorrow morning along the oceanfront beaches. And the rainfall coming in, some heavier showers tonight into Friday, into Saturday morning, and then clearing with a few spokes of clouds and maybe a shower in northwestern sections, and especially northwestern New Jersey, southeastern New York, and the Poconos on Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. But other than that, generally a partly cloudy to fair weather through the extended period from Sunday through Thursday, and any showers or low-top thunderstorms that develop will have to be monitored in real time. Temperatures next week generally in the 70s, and it looks like next weekend we could really see temperatures rise back into the 80s with plenty of sunshine as high pressure is in control off the eastern United States seaboard. So that's going to do it for today and for this weekend. You make it a first good weekend of June 2012. For GardenStateWeather.com, once again, I'm forecaster Robert Smith.